So the eighth lesson that we've learned is around what we sometimes call the complexity conundrum. And this has been with us for a while and is increasingly becoming increasingly urgent, I would say, which is that on the one hand, we sometimes have complex systems and you need, as you see in the lower right, potentially more advanced search. On the other hand, Google has taught us, and many consumer experiences have taught us, that maybe a more simpler, stripped-down interface is better. And so there's this tension always between complexity and simplicity. Sometimes our business processes or our marketing goals can be very complex, but of course, from a UX perspective, you want as simple as possible. And simple is hard. Google has billions and billions of dollars investment in back-end systems that allow you to just do a simple query and have it deliver, what you need. So the question here is, how do you make these choices? Where do you go deep in terms of embracing complexity, and where do you accept kind of simple and more prepackaged? And one of the things that we look is going back, for example, to this architecture diagram and really understanding what is your core, what is your center. So in this case, it's an advocacy organization, and they reach out to millions of people, sometimes on a daily basis, by email and mobile and social channels. And so they decided that the core of their real core competency really needed to be around marketing automation. So they invested heavily in a platform there. They customized that platform. They spent a lot of time educating their people on how to use it. And it's a complex environment, their marketing automation platform. But it's also doing a lot of really powerful stuff for them, a lot of highly segmented, multiple campaigns running concurrently. And so what they accepted then was that in terms of their web content management system and their social engagement, that they would get more kind of out-of-the-box products and let the technology kind of dictate a little bit how they were going to work rather than spending a lot of time customizing them. Here's a different example with a consumer product goods where really it was their digital asset, media asset management system that was the core, and they were focusing a lot of energy on enhancing that platform and kind of embracing complexity in that environment because that was a key differentiator for them. And then focusing on simplicity in some of their other tools. So the lesson here is that enterprises shouldn't be afraid to embrace digital complexity in areas that are core to their business. And you may have to educate and train people to really uncover and leverage the power of these systems while using more simpler, lesser featured, often software as a service technology for non-core activity. And a great example here, for example, would be with SharePoint and Office 365. SharePoint on-premise, a very complex platform. You can customize it with enough time, money, and ibuprofen to do whatever it is that you need. Whereas Office 365 now is really more of a product. You can't really customize it all that much. It's not designed necessarily to be extended, at least not natively within SharePoint, and you sort of say, okay, I'm going to do this sort of work the way Microsoft says I should and just accept that. And so if that kind of collaboration and communication is not necessarily your core competency or what you're really trying to differentiate on, then maybe that's okay to just accept that. On the other hand, if you are trying to differentiate on your business and get competitive advantage through advanced collaboration and social communications applications, some of which we may have to customize, then maybe Office 365 isn't right for you.